a guy named, let's call him Moshe. His name is Moshe. Moshe was such a tzaddik when he was first brought into this world, first time Gilgul, reincarnation, that he was able to have nefesh. He reached his nefesh, his ruach, and his neshama. Very rare, by the way. It's a very rare thing to do. But since he was a first time comer into this world, he was able to reach nefesh, ruach, and neshama. But he made a big avera. What was this avera that he did? Let's say, chas v'shalom, he was with a goya. Okay? Because he did that, and since he had all three parts of his souls, he made a pegam. What's a pegam? A blemish. Pegam is blemish. So he blemished his neshama, his ruach, and his nefesh, all in one shot, because they're all in him at the same time. So what did Hashem do? What does Hashem do? He sends the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama in three different people. Let's call nefesh got Israel, ruach got David, and neshama got Aharon. So that means there could be three people walking around in this world right now, and they could really be what? Originally, the same person. Moshe. Okay? Now, it's interesting, if we'll get there, I don't know, B'ezrat Hashem, in a couple of years, in this 20th Hakdama, it says that if three people come from the same roots, if a person comes from the same root soul as another person, he'll naturally be inclined to hate that person. You have a natural inclination to hate that person because you feel in your soul that you have a competition with him. But really, you guys have to help each other. You guys are real brothers, not blood brothers from this world. You guys are real brothers. But unfortunately, you guys have a natural inclination to hate each other because you think that you're in competition with him. So this Yisrael, David, and Aharon have the nefesh, ruach, and neshama of Moshe. Okay, now here's the problem. Let's say Yisrael fixes the nefesh. Why should he die? Why should he die? Why would he die? Because he has nothing left to do in this world anymore. Once he finishes the nefesh, now he has to get the ruach. But who has the ruach? David. So what does Hashem do to Israel? He sends him something called an ibur. We talked about this last week. What's an ibur? Impregnation of a soul of a tzaddik. Let's say that we're going to learn today, B'ezrat Hashem, you could get even from the ruach of Avraham Avinu. You could reach that high. You guys know the famous story in the Gemara where Rebbe asked Eliyahu Hanavi and said, how can we bring Mashiach? And he said, if Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are all going to pray together right now, they're going to bring Mashiach. And he says, who's in this world are Yaakov? He said, Rabbi Chia and his two sons. They're Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Yehuda and Chizkiah. So then Rosh Chodesh, Rebbe put all three of them to pray for the Amud. They said, Mashiv HaRuach, suddenly a big Ruach. Morid HaGeshem, and started turning. They were about to say, Tchiat HaMetim. And they sent Eliyahu Hanavi from heaven to break up the minyan. So how could Rabbi Chia and his two sons be Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? What are they doing? Didn't they fix them? It's not that they were Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Dari explains they had the ibur of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov inside of them. You understand? They were not aware of it. You're not aware consciously what you have inside of you. For example, you could have souls of very bad people inside of you. Dibukim, yes. Ruchot, spirits inside of you. You have no idea that he's inside of you. No idea. In fact, the rule is, if a person, God forbid, has a dibuk inside of him and he's a Talmid Chacham, the Ruach can never materialize inside of him. And the reason he can't materialize is because you learn Torah. So he can't speak through your mouth. And understand? So God forbid, a person can have many bad stuff inside. You can also have very good stuff inside. You don't never know. Okay, you need the Ariya Kadosh to tell you what you have inside of you. Okay? So this is more or less where we ended up. And the same thing happens for David. When David finishes his Ruach, what does he get? The Neshama of a Tzaddik. And the same thing happens to Aharon. It goes on and on. Okay? So what's the beauty in this? Why am I mentioning this again? don't think just because we talked about all about nefesh, it's so hard to fix the nefesh. We're in ikvedat Mashiach right now. We're at the end of days. At the end of days, most of the people in this world already passed their nefesh a very long time. They can be very high-level souls today walking around, and you have no idea it's such a high-level soul. Why do I think this is true? Because no generation has ever had the tests of our generation. No generation. If you live in the city, I don't mean just Manhattan, I mean the suburbs, all the tests that we go through every day, they're very high, they're very big tests. They're very big tests. You understand? So we need inside of us big nishamot to help us out. And it's very probable that we do have those inside of us that help us out, especially the religious Jews. I mean, think about it, 15 million Jews in the world, how many of us are already religious? And out of how many of us that are religious, how many of us are really religious because we want to be religious? Okay, so we have a very high chance of having big nishamot inside of us. Okay, so this is more or less where we ended up last week. Starting Hakdama Bet, Bezrat Hashem, Naaseh v'Natzliach. So Hakdama Bet in the Shara Gilgulim starts like this: Beseder Knisat Hanaran. The order in which your nefesh, ruach, and neshama comes inside the Adam, betchilat Gilguleihem. How does the nefesh, ruach, and neshama go inside the human being the first time is in this world? What does it mean the first time is in this world? So I have to give you guys a small introduction. Okay? Sometimes a person cannot get more than one level in one Gilgul. And the reason is because he has been already reincarnated more than once. The only time you could achieve all 5 parts of your souls in one shot is if it's the first time you were in this world. You hear what I just said? If it's not the first time you're in this world, you can't achieve all 5 parts in one shot. You could only achieve 1. And there are different levels of how this happens. It's very scary. So what happens after you need to get to the next level? God forbid that person passes away. He has to pass away, then he gets reincarnated with the new part already inside of him.
Always know your word.
We're going to learn, Bezrat Hashem, in what case could you circumvent this thing, okay? There's a way to get out of it. And it has to do with Kriyat Shema L'Amitat. Very powerful stuff, okay? So, how does the Nefesh Shema go inside a person the first time he's in this world? First time he's in this world. You're a new soul. Chadash. You know what Chadash is? You're new. You've never been in here before. Okay? You weren't even in Adam HaRishon when he made the sin. When he was about to sin, you evaporated from his body. There were souls like that, like Yosef HaTzadik, Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha Kohen Gadol, Yoshua bin Nun, Chanoch, the Rimigash, the Ritva, they're all from Ziara Ilah. It's souls that weren't even in Adam when he sinned. They were in him, but right when he was about to sin, they left. We, all of us, we decided to stick around. We were curious to see what was about to happen. You understand? Hine! You like that one. Be'ed shenolat guf ha'adam. Whenever a person's body is born, ve'yotze la'avir ha'olam, and it comes out into the air, into the environment of this world, nichneset bo hanefesh shelo. So first come, first serve. Who's the first one who comes inside your person's body? The nefesh. The tough one, right? The nefesh is so tough to fix. The nefesh. If a person has a nefesh, hopefully we already passed that stage, that every time the Torah talks about karet, what part of the soul does it always say? V'nichreta hanefesh hahi. And the Ari says, why suddenly it always says nefesh, nefesh, nefesh? Because usually people who follow in the sin of karet usually have a nefesh. If a person has a ruach, he usually doesn't fall in karet. Karet is usually where? In the nefesh. Huh? What'd you say?
That's the way it is.
That's usually the way it is.
All forms of karet.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Ve'im yuchshuru ma'asav, and if you have zechut and you do good deeds, you're a man of chesed, you put on tefillin every morning, you go to minyan, yiskeh, you will have the merit, you get to the next level. V'yikanes bo haruach, and you get the ruach. Now, how does it work, guys? So, in the gist of it is the ruach. You have the nefesh. You have the nefesh. Next level is ruach, neshama, chaya, and the last one, which nobody has ever reached, is yechida. If a person has never fixed his nefesh, he can't get the ruach. Why is that? The ruach, when it comes inside, it needs to sit on something. It needs an intermediate. Okay? It just can't go straight into the person's body. It's such a high soul part of your soul, it can't connect with the body.
Not even to the levush?
Not even the levush. It needs its own levush. And that's called the nefesh. The ruach must rest on the nefesh. If you don't have a nefesh, you can't have a ruach. You understand? Now, what happens if you're born into this world without a nefesh? That means the nefesh went into another guy, and you have the ruach. What is it going to sit on? Nefesh ha? We learned about it last week. Nefesh hager. Something called nefesh hager. We're going to talk about it more in depth today. Okay? Ve'im yushu ma'asav yikanes bo, you're going to get the ruach. Betashlum shnat 13. What age can a person get the ruach? The earliest age? 13 years old. Before the age of 13, you can't get your ruach. Now, what's the big question over here, guys? What's the big question?
You start fixing only by 13.
What?
By 13, you start to fix.
You're just starting to fix, right? Before you're 13, you're not chayav b'mitzvot. If the nefesh is so hard to fix, then how come a child could do it? That's the question, right? So he says, how old do you have to be to get a ruach? 13. Before you're 13 and you have a nefesh, how are you gonna fix the nefesh? You're not obligated in mitzvot yet. You gotta do mitzvot to fix the nefesh, right? You gotta do all 613 of them. We learned in the first lecture. You gotta do 613 mitzvot times 5. Just to fix it, because how many systems there are again? 5 systems. You need to do that for every single system. So how are you fixing the nefesh?
So this nefesh chadasha.
It's a nefesh chadasha, but you still need mitzvot. You need to learn Torah. What Torah could a 12-year-old learn even? 11-year-old. Does he fast on Yom Kippur? Does he fast on Tisha B'Av? So what mitzvot can he do? So the answer is, the first time you're in this world, it's actually very easy to fix your nefesh to the point where you don't even have to be chayav in mitzvot. First time you're in this world.
So this is talking about neshama chadasha.
This is talking about neshama chadasha. So it has nothing to do with us. We're not neshamot chadashot. Okay, but just to learn Torah, to fix the nefesh the first time you're in this world as a neshama chadasha, all you need to do is have chinuch mitzvot. You just need to be trained in mitzvot. Trained. But us, where we're already a couple of times in this world, most probably, it's not enough to us to have chinuch mitzvot. But interestingly, you might pay attention, there are kids sometimes at the age of 9, 8 years old, they already want to fast, they already want to do mitzvot, they already have a zechut, their father buys them lulav and etrog. Where did this stuff come from? So that kid, it must be that he's already starting off with a very high part of his neshama. You understand? If he already has a connection, a magnetic connection to these things, he's already starting off on a higher level. On the other hand, you have sometimes kids who have an aversion to mitzvot. You understand? They don't want to eat kosher, and they always, throw away. They don't want to come to shul, and they want to throw away mitzvot. They don't want to say amen, bedafka, and all this kind of stuff. Why do they have this kind of aversion to mitzvot? Because of the parents. The parents have a tikkun to do with this kid right now. The parents have to give a lot of love to this child because it's as much as their tikkun as it is his. Okay? So it's a very deep connection. God doesn't send a child from a different shorish neshama. The children that you will have comes from your own shorish neshama. You understand? So therefore, there is a deep connection between the father and the son, and a Rebbe and his student. Even the students that a Rebbe has to come from his Shoresh Neshama. Okay? But the age of 13, that's when you start fixing your Ruach. Earliest time. Sha'az Nikra Ish Gamur. Why? From the age of 13, now you're already called a Ish. Ish is a very special name. Okay? It gives you the ability to start fixing your Ruach, which is a very high level. The person who has a Ruach, he gets a very big drive to learn Torah. Ve'im yuchsharu od ma'asav, and if you have bigger zechut, me'az ve'ech nichnes bo neshama, you could get even your neshama. Now, when is the earliest time to have neshama? Says the Ari, betashlum shnat ha'esrim. You have to be at least 20 years old. Before the age of 20, as a neshama chadasha, you cannot start fixing your neshama. Why age of 20? Could anybody give me a marriage? Usually says Hashem waits till the age of 20 for you to get married. That means a person must get married before he could even start fixing his neshama. Correct? But there's another reason. There's a second reason. When does the Beit Din start judging a person in Shamayim? When are you chayav b'dinei Shamayim? At the age of 20 years old. That means God doesn't punish you for the sins you did from 20 and below. Anything that you're suffering right now in this world, let's say you think you're suffering. It's all how you look at your life. It's either from your past reincarnation or from sins that you did after the age of 20. You understand? Because Shamayim doesn't judge you for sins that you did before the age of 20.
So it just goes zero blank? How's it?
No.
How's it?
How could you be zero blank?
No, I mean before 20. Where is
it says Rav Chaim Vital when he was a baby, when his mother was breastfeeding him, 3 times he hit his mother on her chest. 3 times, and the Ari told him he had to fast for 3 days because of that sin that he did of Kibud Avayim. And there's a different version where he didn't hit his mom 3 times. He cursed his mother 3 times when he was a kid, and for that he had to fast 3 times. So there's no zero blank. Rather, those sins that you did before the age of 20, you get punished in Gehenom.
I can't fix that.
Patur b'dinei Adam, chayav b'dinei Shamayim. Did you understand what I just said? There's no such thing as blank zero. The thoughts that you think, listen, I don't want to judge myself over here, but the thoughts that you think, they're going to be accounted for, Gabriel.
I know.
Did you know that?
So can we fix?
Did you know? I want to add one more thing, Gabriel, because you brought up an interesting point. I want to tell you something. If you want to really achieve your true Gan Eden, do you know how specific they can get with you in Shamayim? No, you think you know. Do you know when you're wearing tefillin, there's a halacha. You're not allowed to think about anything else. It's called Hesech Hadat. Okay? When you wear tefillin. One time the Ari HaKadosh saw that they were punishing a very big tzaddik because one time when he was saying Uba L'Tzion Goel, that's toward the end of tefillah, instead of thinking of his tefillin, he was thinking about something else. So to get to the high level of Gan Eden that he deserved, they even had to punish him for that. Then you're telling me blank zero. But we're not in that level yet. Okay? We're not in that level. We gotta take it easy. First, we have to come to Slichot. Shacharit with Minyan. Mincha with Minyan. Arabid with Minyan. Let's start with those stuff first. Then we could talk about Hesech Hadat. Once the Ari found that saw a guy being punished, do you know for what? Because when he was walking outside, there was no eruv and pebbles. You know what pebbles are? Like sand. Went inside his shoe and he was carrying the pebbles 4 amot. He didn't know. He just went into his sandals and he was walking with it. To that extent, they were specific with him.
I thought you don't get punished for sins that you don't know of.
And his level, he was supposed to reach a very high level of Gan Eden. So even on that, they were particular with him. We're not in that level yet.
They were looking at him from a microscope.
Yeah, not just a microscope, super microscope. Times 1,000. Okay?
Like we're looking
I just don't want you to have this thought that there is something called blank zero in Shamayim. There's no blank zeros. Everything is accounted for. It says the Gemara, even the word that you say to your wife in the middle of the night, even that you're gonna answer for in Shammai. Not answer in a bad way, but everything is shown. Everything is shown. Okay, Hashem sees everything. For example, the Gemara says in Masechet Psachim, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, "Cursed is the man who cohabitates with his wife without a blanket. Cursed is this man." Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says this. Even though he closed all the lights and everything, but no blanket. Everything is out there. So the Kubalim say, what do you mean? Everything is dark, everything is good.
Summertime.
Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says he didn't have respect because Hashem is standing right there. Did you know Hashem is right there in your bedroom? That's deep. It's not just deep, it's deeper than the deep. This is deep water. Okay? So you gotta be careful what you do, what you say, what you're thinking. It's a very high level. I suggest this to everybody. If you want to get your ruach, your neshama, you have to have a cheshbon hanefesh. You have to have a small diary in which today I prayed with a minyan, today I didn't have any bad thoughts, today I put on tefillin with kavanah. You have to, you have to work on yourself. Okay? Today I helped another Jew put on tefillin. All these stuff play a difference. All these things. Okay? So before the age of 20, when you're the first time in this world, you can't begin to fix your neshama. After 20, you can start fixing your neshama. Like it says in the book Saba de Mishpatim. What's this book Saba de Mishpatim? The grandfather of judgment. There's a book like that in the Zohar. The grandfather of judgment. This is the book where a certain soul of a tzaddik called Rav Yeva Sava. Rav Yeva Sava, he came to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and he taught him all the halachot of Gilgulim. In 20 pages. That's how we have this book today. Yes. It's the grandfather who taught the things in Parshat Mishpatim. Why are you laughing over there? You okay? I said grandfather too many times? Okay, continue. Aval, however, im lo tiken rucho legamre, if you didn't have the zechut of finishing your ruach. How do you fix your ruach, by the way, guys? Nefesh, we learned long time ago, you gotta do mitzvot, ma'asiyot. You gotta go out there and look for mitzvot. Pidyon haben, not pidyon haben, but pidyon peder hamor, shiluach haken, write a Torah, I don't know. So many mitzvot, tefillin, huh? Bikor cholim, it's under the mitzvah of chesed. That's how you fix your nefesh. How do you fix your ruach?
Praying. Praying.
Praying? No.
Reading Mishnayot, reading Torah.
Learning Torah. If you want to fix your ruach, you have to learn non-stop Torah. You have to finish the Torah 5 times.
Between 13 and 20?
All 4 times.
That's only for a guy, first time inside this world. First time. Okay?
All 4 times.
Yes, all 4 types of the Torah you have to learn. Now you could understand how come on the night of Shavuot, all the rabbis really say, read the Tikkun Leil Shavuot. Lectures you could listen 364 days a year. The night of Shavuot, finish the Tikkun. Why finish the Tikkun? The night of Shavuot has a special power for you to fix your neshama. That's no other night. In the week, the night that's very powerful to fix your soul is Thursday night. Thursday night. That's why we made the shiur on Thursday night. It's a very powerful night to learn the secrets of the Torah. In the year, it's Shavuot. In the month, it's Rosh Chodesh. Okay? Now, so the way you fix your ruach is by learning Torah. Are you with me? You gotta learn Torah. You gotta kover. That's what they ask you. Ha'im kavata itim la Torah. Ve'im lo tiken ruach legamre lo tikenes bo neshama. If you don't fix your ruach, you can't get a neshama. Ve'yeh bo nefesh ruach bilvad. And then this guy is gonna be walking around with what? A nefesh and a ruach, but with no neshama. Ve'ken im lo tiken et a nefesh legamre. Now let's say a guy, first time in this world, first time. He has a nefesh, but he didn't even fix his nefesh. Ein bo rak nefesh levad. He only has the smallest part of his soul, the nefesh. V'yishaer mibli ro neshama, and he's null and void from the ruach and neshama. So let's say we have here a guy. Let's call him Eliyahu. Eliyahu's first time inside this world, and he only has a nefesh. He has no ruach or neshama. He didn't do enough mitzvot to reach the higher levels. Okay? So what happens to the ruach and neshama? What happens to it? It just disappears? What happens to it? It's waiting for him in Gan Eden. They're waiting for him in Gan Eden. Okay? Your ruach and your neshama. Your ruach is waiting for you in Gan Eden, that's in the world of Yetzirah, and your neshama is waiting for you in Gan Eden Ha'elyon. There's many Gan Edens, by the way, guys. There's a Gan Eden in this world. There's a Gan Eden in the world of Yetzirah, of Bria. Atzilut, there is no Gan Eden, because Atzilut is all godliness. Okay? It's Atzilut. Okay? So this guy, he only has his nefesh. And he didn't fix it. Amnam, im lo tiken nefesh legamrei, since he didn't fix his nefesh, ופעם אחת ונפטר ממנו, and he died. Eliyahu ends up יתגדל ויתקדש מרבי. And he only has his nefesh. What happens now?
Throughout his entire life.
Entire life.
So are you time bound, by the way?
You're not.
You have to pass the first level
Dar-
before 13?
No. You're not time bound. You could work on it. As many sparks your soul is made out of, that's how much time you have to work on your soul. Okay? So for example, a person who lives till the age of 90, he has a lot of sparks to his soul. A person who lives till the age of 30, he has small sparks. His soul is made out of 1 or 2 sparks. Okay? But what's the difference? Some people are born into this world with a soul that's this big. Some people are born into this world with a soul that's this big. His nefesh is this big and his nefesh is this big. So obviously, who's going to have a faster time to fix his nefesh? This guy. Okay? So let's think about it. This is, let's say, a garbage man and this is a doctor. Okay? Now, when they both pass away, who does Hashem keep closer to him in Shamayim? This guy or this guy? This guy. Why? Hashem doesn't look how big your soul is. Hashem looks how much you fixed. Since he fixed it faster, he gets a higher seat in Shamayim.
But he has much more job.
And he only reached until here. Hashem likes things that are 100%. Not 50-50. You understand? But it's not fair. This guy reached until here, but he had the potential of reaching even higher, and he didn't do it. Okay? And this guy, that's why they say it's better to be a smaller soul than it is to be a bigger soul. Because you get to fix it much faster. Okay? So what happens? Eliyahu dies, he passes away, and he only had a nefesh, and he didn't fix it. Until he doesn't fix his nefesh completely, he could come back to a Gilgul up to 1,000 times. He'll keep on coming until he fixes his nefesh. Okay? Now, let's say Eliyahu finally fixes his nefesh. He finally fixed it. Okay? Let's still call him Eliyahu. Comes back in the 10th Gilgul, and he's still called Eliyahu. He finally finishes his nefesh. The ruach can't come inside now. What did we explain in the first part of the shiur? Now he has to die to get the ruach. You could only get the nefesh and the ruach on the first time together. After you come back in the Gilgul, and I finished my nefesh now you have to die to get the ruach. Not you, but this guy. Okay? So it's very tough. Okay, it's very tough. There is a way to get around this. But we're not there yet. Okay? Since the nefesh was only fixed by a Gilgul, and it was very hard for him to fix his nefesh, he must die, he must pass away. And the soul, the nefesh, has to come back in a Gilgul, and now he will come back with the Ruach.
Straight ruach.
Yeah, straight with the Ruach. Because he fixed the nefesh already. the ruach has a seat where to sit inside. Did you get it so far? You're good? And it continues. Ve'im nitaken gam haruach, and if you fix also your ruach, as tzarich sheyipred. Now let's say Eliyahu, now he's came back in the Gilul with his nefesh and his ruach. And he was able to fix the ruach. It's much easier to fix the ruach. Now he has to get the neshama, right? He can't get the neshama. He has to die again. It's pretty scary stuff. That's the Ari is going to explain later on. This is the secret how come many tzaddikim die when they're young. Since they're nishamot megulgalim and they fix their soul, now they have to die to get the next one. And it's very sad because they don't learn the secrets of the Torah, how to get around this. And it's inside Kriyat Shema Lamita how to get around this. Do you know how to get around it? You have to learn. How to get around it? There is a sentence you have to say before you go to sleep.
A lot of Mikubalim died when they're in early age.
What are you trying to say with that?
They didn't know that.
What are you trying to say with that?
I don't know, you're just answering to
Are you trying to bring a contradiction or something? You gotta take it easy there, cameraman. The reason Mikubalim die when they're younger, there's another kind of Gilgul. It's like the Ari Kadosh. He doesn't come to fix anything. He only comes for one reason, to teach. Those people, if the world doesn't have a zechut to have them inside, they leave. They have no reason to be in here. Okay? The Ari HaKadosh passed away because his students had sinat chinam. Because their wives started to fight, Janganozi, this and that. Ari says, you guys are not worthy. That's Vidani. All the Torah we have, Kabbalah, was all taught in a year and 10 months. Marchu said if he had the chance, if the Ari would have learned with him one more year, he would have explained to him the whole Gemara al Pi Yasod.
He learned with him after in the dreams, right?
In the dreams, yeah, he did.
He didn't write it?
He didn't write any of that. They say that the Marchu was zochet to very high levels, is written down in Sha'arei Kedusha, in the 4th chelik, which is in print. When he learned with the Ari later on. But that's not our point right now. Well, how do you get that? We're going to show, then his neshama can go inside after he passes away a second time. So too, like we learned with that ruach. Ve'im lo tiken ruach, but let's say you didn't finish the ruach. Tzarich sheitgalgelu kama pa'amim. You have to come back in a couple of reincarnations. HaNefesh im ruach, the nefesh with the ruach, עד שיתקן הרוח. ואז ימות אדם ויחזור להתגלגל לנפש הרוח גם לנשמה, שתנו שלושתם, ואז אין לו צורך עד עוד להתגלגל כלל, כי בהיות גם הנשמה התקן, הרי הוא אדם שלם כנודע. Now, here's the good news. Here's the good news. Let's say Eliyahu, our good friend over here, he finally passes away again, and he gets his nefesh, his ruach, and his neshama. Once you have the neshama, you don't have to die anymore. Once you reach the 3rd level, Bria, the world of Bria, you don't sin anymore.
There's no tikkun over there?
The tikkun is so easy. It's so easy for you to have a tikkun over there that it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There is no craving for averot anymore. Unless you force yourself to have averot. So what's the big question over here? What's the question you should ask? Adam Harishon was born from nefesh until atzilut. How did he sin? You didn't ask that question. Why are you saying
no, how?
He was mikubal by the way, right? How did he sin?
It's right.
Huh?
He asked for it.
So one
He
and
wanted it.
he wanted it.
He wanted to.
He wanted to sin.
Same way I was saying the Midrash says that the Yitzhak was created on the first day of creation.
Yeah.
Why?
And
to be after the
After the
head. The answer is because he wanted him to sin.
He wanted it.
That's all women's fault.
That's also true. There is another answer to the Midrash is that he didn't know what was going on. She squeezed the grapes and then he just drank the. But he knew what was going on. He knew pretty well what was going on. So you don't sin as a natural thing. You understand? If something nice is going to pass by you, you're not going to even want to look. But if you tell yourself, yeah, I am going to look, you will sin. That's what happened to Adam Harishon. That's also what happened to Yerovam ben Nevat. When God came to him and said, me, you, and David HaMelech are all going to walk together in the garden. What did Yerovam ben Nevat say? Who goes first? You know that story, right? So when he did that, he actually had inside him the soul of Yosef Tzaddik as a Ibur. When he said that, he evaporated for him and he messed up big time. He made Avodah Zarah, he has no Olam Haba, and so on and so forth. But the good news is, if you reach your neshama, it's all smooth sailing from there.
Okay, let's say Eliyahu has nefesh and ruach.
Yeah.
Can he do averot to lose the ruach?
The bad news is, wait a second. The bad news is, let's say Eliyahu fixes his nefesh, he passes away, he gets his ruach, right? And he doesn't fix his ruach. Now the nefesh is tied together with the ruach.
Forever.
Yeah, and it has to, and yeah, he cannot lose, but the bad news is it has to keep on coming back down with the ruach now. Has to keep on coming back down with the
That's
ruach.
good because he
That's
started-
bad, no. Because once the nefesh is done, it should stay up there with surah chayim. Why should it come back down? He might mess that up too.
So it's not
That's
asking,
the bad
can
news.
you mess it up?
Yes, he can mess it up.
And he can lose it? Or mess it up and stick together?
If, let's say, for example, Eliyahu comes back and he has his nefesh and his ruach, and he decides, I'm not getting married. I want to live a life of single life.
Natural.
Yeah? So that body is das vidania. It's das vidania. He never comes back. He's finished. Okay? If he tried to get married, that's something else.
Wait, altogether he's finished?
Yeah, that
Soul-
body is gone. The soul will go back to the next Gilgul now.
Okay, how did the original Moshe, remember when you brought up Moshe?
Oh, Moshe, okay. How did he get all three? When he had his neshama, you mean?
He had his neshama, so
Yeah.
why did you...
He sin?
Yeah.
So I explained to you. He doesn't have an inclination to sin.
But he went out of his way.
He went out of his way to sin.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That happens. What do you mean?
People do it.
Do you know Shabtai Tzri, Shem Rishayim
Yeah.
Yirkav? So he sinned as he was getting his neshama. You understand? There are cases that are out of the way. But for example, you see big Gdolei Ador like Rav Chaim Kanievsky or like Rav Ovadia Yosef Zechzivracha when he was alive. These people did you ever wonder how do they do it? It's like a Torah machine. He wakes up, he dreams about Torah already. He dreams about it. He once had a dream about the Rivash. Came to him and said, then the answer that you were looking for is in so and so book. Dreams of the Ben Ish Chaim. How did they do that? They so purified their body. They had no inclination to sin. When they used to come to Rav Ovadia and say, be sandak for my kid, you know what he used to say? He said, give it to someone else. He didn't even have I don't care about this, He didn't care about these things. He just wanted to learn more Torah and more Torah and more Torah and more Torah. That's why he became 1 million people in his Levaya. It's not simple like that. You understand? Some tzaddikim have millions of people. 1 million people in his Levaya. Moshe Feinstein had over 600,000 people. These things are unheard of. These are big souls. You know what I'm saying? These are huge souls. You could also see the magnitude of a person's soul from the amount he helps people. If you're a helper or not. If you're a selfish person, the magnitude of your soul is very, very small. Because you only see the eye. You understand? It's a very small soul. Now, we learned in our last week's shiur the ability to change your shorish neshama. You understand? But it's very hard to do that. It's very hard. You need a lot of work. You need a lot of self-work. Where does that start from? Every day has to be a new day for you. You made a sin yesterday, you have to wake up tomorrow thinking like that day never happened. Okay? Every day has to be something new. המחדש בכל יום טובו, המחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד, מעשה בראשית. Every day is מעשה בראשית. Okay? I'm telling you guys, this cheshbon hanefesh, if you guys have it, it works wonders. It could work wonders. Okay? Let's do a couple of more sentences. Okay? Let me just see how many minutes we're already. Oh, I think it's already closed. Okay, let's do 38 minutes. Okay, so let's a couple of more minutes and we're gonna end up. I just want to do two more sentences over here. אבל צריך שתדע. You have to know one thing, says the Ari. כי כאשר נתקנה הנפש, when the nefesh was fixed, וחזרה אחר כך לבוא בגלגול, and it had to come back in a reincarnation, כדי לקחת את הרוח שלה, to get its ruach, כנזכר, like we just learned, כדי לתקן גם אותו, so you could fix also the ruach. הנה, אם באותו גלגול יחטא האדם איזה חטא, if in that gilgul a person will sin while he has his nefesh and ruach, אין פגם ההוא פוגם בנפש. It doesn't hurt the nefesh, that pegam. It's hard to destroy something you already built. Okay? If you already built the nefesh, it's very hard to break it. It's very hard to break it. Okay? That's what he's saying over here. כדי שנאמר שצריכה עוד הנפש ההיא להתגלגל פעם אחרת יחידית לתקן הדרך הנזכר. Why? Because if, let's say, Eliyahu, while he has his nefesh and the ruach, he also was pogem the nefesh, Now when he comes to get his neshama, the nefesh has to go into a different person to get fixed also over there. And since it doesn't, it means that you can't blemish something that's fixed. And it's a very, very, very big life lesson for us. Like my Rebbe always says, any mitzvah that a person does, nobody can take that away from you. It's impossible. You can't destroy something you already did. Okay? Even averot, like they say, chas v'shaloms. Huh? Lashon hara, yeah. It's as if he switched it. It's as if. You can never take away a person's life. Okay? Only 3 averot could do that. Giving money and interest, you lose your body. Being a kofer ba'ikar, not believing in God. And number 3, not wanting to get married and have kids. Those are the 3 averot that can make you lose everything. But if you don't do those 3 things, you're in the good. You're over the green light. Okay?
Lose everything, like to die.
Your body will never come back in Tchiyat HaMetim. You lose your right of getting up in Tchiyat HaMetim. So, I think before Rosh Hashanah, if you ever gave money on interest, or you took money on interest, it's a good idea to give that money back. It's a good idea. I know one guy. You guys ever heard of Rabbi Ronen Shaulov? You ever heard of him? He's a very big lecturer in Israel. When he became religious, he used to do a lot of business on interest. He said, till the last penny, I gave everything away. The rabbi said, I can't even keep a penny of interest. Interest is a very bad sin. The second bad sin is obviously kofer ba'ikar. And the third one is not wanting to have kids, which is the first mitzvah in the Torah. You need to have kids. You need to get married. Okay? At least try. So how about those big rabbis that didn't have kids? They should have divorced their wives and... I can't say the D word, but they should have let go of their wives and get married again. Am I right or wrong?
No.
Why not?
I think you said this before, the Hiddushim.
Their chidushim were their kids.
Were their kids.
Yeah, we're going to learn that later on. A person who learns a lot of Torah, if he's married or he got married, the Torah that he learns, especially the novelty ideas, are his kids. It's amazing. It's amazing.
They don't cry at night.
Yeah, they don't cry at night. לפי שכיוון שיש שם רוח, הנה הפגם הוא פוגם ברוח לבדו. Since a person has a nefesh in the ruach, and he made a pegam, it only goes to the ruach and not to the nefesh. עד שיתוקן, לכן יצטרך איזה גלגולים אחרים כדי לתקן את הרוח, באים בנפש ורוח ויחד מתגלגלים שניהם עד שישלם תיקון הרוח, as we explain, ואז יפטר אדם ויחזור ויתגלגל הנפש הרוח עם הנשמה שלושתם ביחד. And once a person finishes his nefesh and ruach, hopefully, Bezrat Hashem, to all of us over here, you could get your neshama. Salama. That's it, you're done. Smooth sailing. עד שישתלם גם תיקון הנשמה, and until you finish your נשמה, ואז בגלגולים ההם, אם חטא אדם, אין הפגם פוגם רק בנשמה לבדה, על דרך שבראנו בעניין תיקון הרוח, and if חס ושלום, a person does end up sinning when he has a neshama, it only reaches which part? Just the neshama. It can't touch the ruach and the nefesh. Why?
Because
you can't destroy something that's fixed. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen.
So why does the